I think also once you start to learn to, in a sense, eradicate the so-called benchmarks in your mind,
Yes.
I should be here, I should have that, or that image should contain that.
Yeah.
It's freedom.
It's freedom.
You know. I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, have put those parameters on themselves because of society.
What? Yes, definitely. And we forget that we've been given as a gift imagination.
Absolutely.
And why we're not using it? Why are we wanting to follow everyone else or everything else or whatever the standard is? You know, it's safe to do that. I understand, and you can excel in it. I'm not saying you go for it if that's what you want to do. But we have been given an imagination. What are we going to use that for? If not to create our lives, and whatever that means.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's with respect to the visual arts or the written word, or it doesn't really matter, or just relationships.
Absolutely.
Just
well, I think take all of the visual arts, the written word, the creative pursuit out of it for a second. Again, it comes down to who we are as people.
That's it.
And the one thing that I've learned, in my 25 years of doing this, is that what I've learned to do is to look and constantly look and fine tune and think. Now, in saying that, what I believed in yesterday doesn't necessarily mean I believe in it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
However, I'm constantly thinking. And I think people go through with the good old expression with the blinkers on, and they don't take stock. They just keep rolling with the tide. They wake up and, Jesus, I'm 70 years old, I can't feel my feet.
Yeah. Life is, as the classics say, life is how we make it.
Absolutely.
And you say it's in the doing, so making is doing. And there's your formula. And don't be scared, because at some point we're going to run out of time, and then we'll look back and go,
what have I left? What have I done?
Why was I frightened?
Why was I scared? Even more important.
Why was I scared? Why did I stop myself? Why didn't I just give it a go? Why did I care about what other people thought? Why was I scared about somebody thinking that, whatever it is that I'm producing or creating is not good enough?
Or fear of being judged constantly.
Fear of being judged constantly. The thing is that I think where we need the courage, actually, is instead of having fear of failure, is to have the courage to know that when we do fail, let's say, that we can navigate that, and that's okay. That's all. I think that's what we need to know. If we can believe that, I'm going to goof up, I'm going to make some mistakes, I'm going to this, that, and the other, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I know it's not going to feel great, but I'm going to navigate. It's going to give me, because there's no mistakes. At the end of the day, there are only results. It's going to give me a result, and it's going to let me know where I'm going to go next. But if I don't move because I'm scared of making a mistake, then I'm not going anywhere.
That's right.
And then I'm just paralyzed, and then that's my life there.
Yeah. Well, again, let's bring it back to the creative, the fundamentals of creating a picture, for example.
Yeah.
You begin the picture, and then you get to this certain point. I think we all do it. Yeah. And we're paralyzed because this thing is demanding more from us.
Yeah. Yes.
What do I do? Do I throw my hands up and give up? Yeah. Or do I push through and work through it and say, I'm going to take control of the situation? Yeah. So fundamentally, that is what I think you're trying to convey to people. Yeah. And I think it's important for people to know that, again, they're back to it's okay to go through that feeling.
And then contrast that to, George, with children's artwork. Don't you just adore children's artwork? Why is children's artwork to be adored and loved and whatever?
Because the judgmental switches off.
That's it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, if we can't allow ourselves to be that, and yet we are that.
We are.
And if you look at the Indigenous artwork, why do we love that? Its own beauty and spirituality and naivety, and whether it's sculpture, painting, whatever it might be, I just fall in love with all of those kinds of works, But we don't allow ourselves to do that. We have our own Indigenous style.
That's right.
I'd love to see more of it.
Well, I think also, you know, there's that brooding sense of fear where people really want to let go and they stop themselves. You know, I think about that thing we did together at the symposium.
Oh yes, yeah.
Where I did that class.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
There was one particular person in there, and I said, you know, let's think about drawing.
Yes.
And unfortunately, she put a exclamation mark on herself. I am not opening up the gates. I am not allowing myself to feel that.
I remember that.
And she was so pent up.
Yeah.
And she started coming up with all these types of excuses. I failed life drawing at university and I can't draw. And I said, it's not about that. It's about letting go. And if you remember, what I did was I got her to sit at the front, close her eyes, and make marks.
That's right.
And sometimes, as people, that's all we have to do.
That's it.
You know, you hear those corny sayings, you know, oh, I want to scream and I want to dance freely. You know what? That's exactly what it's about. From that comes great liberation.
Yeah.
You know. So I think you and I have the wisdom of 20, 30, 18 years of
a little bit extra 15, in my case.
15 years of working. And I don't mean about being successful. It's not about that, right? It's about working constantly, using that part of your brain where you're thinking about things. Now, I think what's good is that in here you've outlined that, how that they can take that on.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
I want to know, what's your favourite chapter in here?
My favourite chapter in there, oh my God, my favourite. That's a tough one for me to.
Well, what resonated with you the most that you, when look.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. The second part of the book, which is about quest and our whole, dialogue of questions. When I started the original, I just started, putting the actual quests in there, but it wasn't enough, and I talked about it, of course, as an introduction, then put the transcripts in there on different topics, blah, blah, blah. And I think that this was a kind of really insightful moment for me. I went back and added a reflection on each one. That was inside. And I hadn't done that before. And when I reflected on it, because I could only pick one part of the transcript, because I wasn't reflecting on all parts of the transcript, but on every transcript I reflected on some part of it, and I was moved. I was moved as to taking now a secondary look at it, not just reading it through, but pausing on it and saying, "Oh my goodness, this is very interesting, very curious, very." I was excited.
But I almost feel, just even flicking through it now, they're like mini books within a book. You know what I mean? Like, for example, that quest, you could
that could be a book in its own.
A book in itself.
That's true. That's true.
Do you feel that you've managed to get across?
I've got a beginning, I think, I've got in there. So, because the first part is about your creative process, and it's something that you engage with over 5 steps. The second part is about asking better questions, and here are the transcripts from my performance arts, which is, started back in, I think, 2011 or something. I've got over 6,000 questions. I mean, they're not all in the book.
Yeah.
And the final 2 parts are my little blurbs, if you like. One is on my thoughts on creativity, being a critic, and little things that you can do, whether it's a meditation or drawing with the non-dominant hand.
So you also put in a lot of your own
my
meditations.
Own, that's exactly right, that are in there.
Yeah, right.
And then the final bit is on topics of personal growth and personal development, because to me it's all entwined.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the fact of doing gives you great inner strength.
Get into your body, out of your head, and the two will end up connecting anyway.
Yeah,
they have to, and that's it.
Yeah. Fantastic. I love it.
Thank you, Agapi.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was good.